"You wicked girl, you think you can come into my son's house and turn it upside down? Pack your things and go back to your father's compound before I call the elders on you." Mama Nkechi's voice thundered through the compound, echoing off the mud walls and drawing neighbors to their windows. Her son Emeka stood frozen in the doorway, his face twisted in shame, while his young wife Ada knelt on the dusty ground, tears streaming down her cheeks. The sun was barely up, but the drama had already begun, pulling everyone into the storm. Mama Nkechi was the iron fist of the family. In their large compound in Enugu, where extended relatives lived in clustered rooms around a central courtyard, she ruled like a queen. At 65, she was tall and broad-shouldered, her wrapper tied tightly around her waist, and her headscarf always starched to perfection. People feared her sharp tongue and her unyielding pride. "I am the one who suffered to raise Emeka," she would boast at family gatherings. "No woman will come and spoil what I built." Elders in the village respected her because she never backed down from a fight, and she controlled everything, from the kitchen fire to the market money. Her word was law. Even Emeka, a grown man with a job in the city, dared not challenge her. Neighbors whispered that her pride came from her late husband's wealth, but deep down, it was her way of hiding the loneliness after his death. Then came Ada, the first daughter-in-law. She was a quiet girl from a humble family in the village, married to Emeka with hopes of a peaceful home. Ada showed respect from the start, waking before dawn to sweep the compound, cook for the family, and wash Mama Nkechi's clothes without complaint, but nothing pleased the old woman. "Ada, this soup is too salty. Are you trying to kill me?" Mama Nkechi would shout, dumping the pot in front of her. Ada endured silently, her heart aching as she knelt and apologized. "Mama, forgive me, I will do better." The humiliations piled up, Mama accusing her of laziness in front of visitors, slapping her hand away from Emeka's plate, saying, "You don't feed my son like that, he needs a real woman." Ada's eyes would fill with tears, but she bit her lip, thinking of her own mother's advice: "Endure, my child, marriage is patience." The emotional suffering wore her down, her smiles fading, her body growing thin. The conflict escalated one Sunday after church. In the crowded market square, where women sold yams and palm oil under colorful umbrellas, Mama Nkechi spotted Ada talking to a neighbor. She marched over, her voice booming for all to hear. "Ada, you shameless girl. Flirting in public while my son works hard. People will talk about our family." Ada froze, her basket dropping, as eyes turned to her. "Mama, I was only asking about the price of fish," she whispered, but Mama grabbed her arm and dragged her home. That night, in the dim light of the kerosene lamp, Ada broke down in their small room. "Emeka, I cannot take this anymore. Your mother hates me for no reason." Emeka sighed. "Ada, please endure. She is my mother." But the next morning, Ada packed her few belongings and left quietly for her father's house, her heart shattered. The compound buzzed with gossip, but Mama Nkechi shrugged it off. Good riddance. She was not strong enough for my son. Years passed and the pattern repeated. Emeka married Ngozi, another humble woman from a nearby town. She too showed respect, calling Mama Nkechi Mama with a bow every morning, but the cruelty returned. "Ngozi, you cook like a child. This is not food for a man," Mama would sneer, forcing her to redo meals late into the night. Ngozi endured the verbal abuse, the constant belittling. "You think you are beautiful. My son deserves better." At family gatherings, Mama would ignore her, serving food to others first, making Ngozi feel like an outsider. The humiliation peaked during a burial ceremony in the compound. As relatives ate under the mango tree, Mama announced loudly, "Ngozi, go and wash the plates outside. You are not fit to sit with us." Ngozi's face burned with shame as whispers spread. She too reached her breaking point, confiding in Emeka one rainy night, "Your mother treats me like dirt. I am leaving." Emeka pleaded, but Ngozi slipped away at dawn, confirming to the community that the problem was not the wives, but Mama Nkechi's unyielding pride and control. Then came the turning point, slow and subtle, like the harmattan wind creeping in. Emeka, weary of the failed marriages, met Chidinma at a church fellowship. She was quiet, respectful, with a soft voice and downcast eyes when introduced to Mama Nkechi. "Mama, I am honored to join your family," Chidinma said, kneeling as tradition demanded. Mama Nkechi eyed her suspiciously but nodded. "We shall see if you last." At first, Chidinma appeared humble, sweeping the compound, cooking without complaint, enduring the small jabs. "Chidinma, this rice is hard. Learn properly." But unlike the others, Chidinma didn't flinch. She smiled faintly and said, "Yes, Mama, thank you for teaching me." Weeks turned to months, and Chidinma's quiet strength began to shift things. She spoke little, but when she did, it was with wisdom. She helped neighbors without fanfare, earning their quiet respect. Mama Nkechi started to feel uneasy. Chidinma never argued, but her silence made the old woman's commands echo hollowly. The psychological reversal built like a gathering storm. Mama Nkechi found herself uncomfortable in her own home. Chidinma's calm gaze made her feel exposed, as if her pride was cracking. At meals, Chidinma served everyone, including Mama, with such grace that relatives began praising her. "Chidinma is a good woman." Mama's authority slipped. Emeka listened more to his wife, and the compound children ran to Chidinma for stories instead of her. In a fear-gripped Mama, nights she lay awake, confused, whispering to herself, "What is this girl doing to me?" No shouting, no fights, just silence that eroded her control. She snapped more, but her words bounced off Chidinma like rain on a tin roof. "You think you are clever," Mama hissed one evening. Chidinma replied softly, "No, Mama, I only want peace." The tension thickened, Mama's pride turning to quiet dread. The revelation came through a neighbor, Auntie Ifoma, who lived across the courtyard. One afternoon, while fetching water from the well, she overheard Mama muttering regrets about the past wives. Auntie Ifoma, a wise elder known for her fairness, confronted her privately in the kitchen. "Mama Nkechi, I have seen how you treated Ada and Ngozi. Now with Chidinma it is different. Why do you drive good women away?" Shocked, Mama denied it at first, but Auntie Ifoma pressed. "The community knows. Your pride has cost your son 2 marriages. God is showing you now." The truth hit like a thunderclap. Neighbors had whispered for years, but now it was exposed in the quiet of her own home. In the dim evening light, Mama Nkechi sat alone in her room, the weight of her actions crashing down. Tears she hadn't shed in years flowed. She called Emeka and Chidinma. "My children," she said, her voice breaking, "I have been wicked. My pride made me blind. I treated Ada and Ngozi like enemies, thinking I protected you, Emeka, but I was the problem. Forgive me, I am ashamed." No excuses, just raw regret. Emeka nodded, stunned, and Chidinma touched her hand gently. "Mama, we all make mistakes." Forgiveness came naturally, not forced. Chidinma offered it first. "Mama, let us start anew. God corrects us in his time." Emeka embraced his mother, and slowly the transformation took root. Mama Nkechi began to listen, her commands turning to requests. She helped in the kitchen, shared stories without bitterness. The home's atmosphere shifted, from tense silences to warm conversations. Pride gave way to humility, and faith healed the wounds. Peace settled in the compound. They shared meals under the stars, laughing over pounded yam and egusi soup. Respect was restored. Mama Nkechi greeted visitors with kindness, and Emeka's face lit with joy. The community noticed. The whispers turned to admiration. "See how Mama Nkechi has changed," they said at the market. Family unity bloomed, with children playing freely and elders blessing the home. The moral lesson is clear. Pride destroys families, tearing apart what should be strong. Karma is patient but sure. It waits in the shadows and strikes when least expected, teaching through pain. But humility and forgiveness heal homes, bringing back peace where there was war. Remember, in African homes, we are taught to respect elders, but elders must also show love, for God corrects us all in time. If you enjoyed this story, please like, comment below what lesson you learned, and subscribe for more African moral tales. Encourage one another with prayer, patience, and good character. May God bless your homes. Thanks.